folks. I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast. All right, well, we are getting close to the end of the year. So later on in this episode, I'm going to talk about my predictions I made for 2017. Next week, I'll be talking about 2017 as a whole. The week after that, I'll be talking about predictions for 2018, etc. It's been an interesting year. There's been a lot of things that have gone by. It's been a great year, right? Even though things haven't always gone the way we wanted them to go here at the Dice Tower or just in life in general, it's still, there's so much good to look at in life. There's so many things that we can be thankful for. And we are thankful for you guys as listeners, and we want to remind you that in just a little over 2 weeks, we're going to be starting our annual Kickstarter for the Dice Tower. So if you enjoy the videos that we've been putting out for the past year, this is a chance for you to help keep supporting us so that we can continue to make the content that we do for you. So just keep an eye out for that. That's coming up. I'll be doing a live Q&A later this afternoon, so come back and ask me some questions then. If you notice, we did several live events last week. I'm hoping to do some more of them over this coming week. We're going to try to keep putting these in between all the other things that we're doing over the next weeks. Of course, it is the Christmas holidays, and a big Merry Christmas to everybody, as that will, I guess, actually, I should say that next week, since next week's Board Game Breakfast will be actually on Christmas itself. So, that being said, let's get started. And as always, we start with the news. Okay, so first we'll start with Downforce. There's a new expansion coming from Restoration Games called Danger Circuit. This is another double-sided board you'll get, and also 6 more player powers. Player powers, this will change up the way that, what's going to come out in any particular game. There's a new game from Dude Games called ARG, which stands for Animals Revolt Against Humans. This is a 2-4 bluffing set collection game. Their last game was Yes! Maybe it's a one-word game company. I don't know. Steamforged has announced a Dark Souls card game. This is a cooperative card game with over 400 cards. If you watch our review, I wasn't a really big fan of the board game at all, actually. So I can't say I'm super excited about this. But I know that whether I was a fan of the board game or not, the board game sold like gangbusters. So there's certainly a market for this. In slightly off-topic news, Dungeons & Dragons is Xanathar's Guide to Everything is the fastest-selling book in D&D history. And considering Dungeons & Dragons is older than I am, that's a pretty impressive record. And also considering it's a supplement, not the base book, too. Days of Wonder has announced some new Small World expansions. They're not actually new. They're taking all the old Small World expansions. Small World expansions all came in these little boxes. Now they're going to be in larger size boxes similar to the Ticket to Ride expansion boxes. And they're also going to come with nice plastic inserts. So I think they're putting Grand Dame's Royal Bonus and Cursed. Those 3 are coming together. And Be Not Afraid and Spider's Web. Those 2 expansions are coming together. That's pretty cool. Except if you already have these expansions and you're like, I really want that new insert. Well, what do you do? Deepwater Games has announced that they are going to be distributing the Emperor S4 games in America. You can see a picture of some of the games that they're going to have here. You might know they did Burano and Hanami Koji. Basically lots of games Sam likes. It comes from Emperor S4. So this is something that you might be interested in, and we'll hopefully see more of them here. Although I'm not sure how it affects the deals that Emperor S4 has with other companies already. CMON has announced Victorian Masterminds. This is a 2-4 player game from Eric Lang and Antoine Boza. You are masterminds who are taking advantage of the fact that Sherlock Holmes has disappeared. So I like the theme, I like the idea, I like the look, I like the designers. Hopefully this will be a hit from them. JetBlue has a board game that they sold in and out of Amazon. It's like $20, but if you, it's called Get Packing. Now, I don't know if the game is any good or not. I'm going to try to hunt down a copy of it. But if you get it, you also get a free ticket on one of their flights. There's like restrictions and stuff on a ticket, I guess. But that's an interesting way to promote a company. I would buy it's an interesting way to promote the board game. I hope the board game's good. I know nothing about it. But it'd be an interesting thing to see. All right. Well, that's enough for the regular news. Let's head over to Kickstarter.
Happy breakfast, everybody. If you are into off-color knockoff party games or games that are hastily thrown together trying to capitalize on today's political environment, well, the crowdfunding platforms are full of games for you. But for this segment, the pickings are a little slimmer as the year comes to a close. That said, I still found a few projects that I'm really looking forward to highlighting, so let's get going. If you're a word game fan, Uncanny Cardboard is kickstarting a second edition of Movable Type. This is a drafting word game in which players draft letters and use common cards to form words, collect cards for a scoring pile, and then create a single word from that scoring pile. The game also includes author challenge cards that provide unique game challenges, and there are advanced drafting rules that change up that formula too. Compared to Movable Type First Edition, the deck size has increased from 65 to 100, letter values have been tweaked to rebalance the game, and there's now a dedicated vowel deck with different values and effects. You can get a copy of Movable Type Second Edition for a pledge of just €15 plus shipping. Tavern Trouble is a kind of push-your-luck game with a glancing relationship to blackjack. Players are trying to get as close to a total hand value of 9 after being dealt 2 cards. Push your luck and take up to 2 more cards, and if you exceed 9, you're not out. It's just the last digit of your total now counts. But each character type has a special ability, and if you manage to get 3 of a kind, you get to activate that power. Tavern Trouble is light and simple, but it also features really great fantasy art, and that's the highlight of the cards. You can get a copy of Tavern Trouble for €16 plus shipping. And last but not least, Simulacra is a puzzle hunt in a box. Combining elements of puzzle hunts, escape rooms, and alternate reality games, thematically, you find the diary and collection of an old studio animator full of obscure objects. You work together with your group to go through everything, piece together clues, figure out how objects interact and relate to each other, and solve puzzles. The breadth and variety of puzzles in Simulacra seems immense, and the art and visual presentation all looks top-notch. And beyond what's in the box, there's an online element too, because there are websites, cartoons, and more for you to discover that help you progress. If you're interested in Simulacra, you need to jump on it quickly because the campaign ends on December 21st. You can get the base game that includes over 20 puzzles for a pledge of $79, but you can go all the way up to the Platinum package that has over 50 puzzles and is estimated at over 50 hours of gameplay for $289 plus shipping. Yep, that's all I've got for you this episode. Hopefully something caught your eye. And until next time, I really hope you have a wonderful week.
Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise here, and today is December 18th, which means that less than 1 week ago, JetBlue, the airline, threw their hat into the board game publishing arena by releasing a game called Get Packing. This game, with a $20 price tag and print run of just 200 copies, included 108 cards, 6 player boards, a die, a rule book, and a gift certificate for a free round-trip plane ticket anywhere that JetBlue flies. Yep, that is true. Honestly, why would I lie to you about that when there's so many other things I'm gonna lie to you about? Yep, the game Get Packing was made available on Amazon.com and sold out literally in seconds, which really is a shame because Get Packing is the ultimate game to take to your family get-togethers during the holidays. Oh, yeah, if you're afraid of not having something to argue about with your family over the dinner table this holiday season, well, then just simply break out Get Packing. But the debate over whether JetBlue's board game marketing campaign was a success or a failure totally misses the point. The real controversy, from a board gamer's perspective, is the fact that the Get Packing's Board Game Geek page is a complete mess. There's no product image, ratings, comments, designer or artist information. Its game type is even listed as uncategorized. I mean, seriously, gah! Now, the closest thing to a review of the game that I've been able to find is from the Solitaire forum post on the game's page, where BGG user Bill Gallagher posted an excerpt of a quote stating, "The mechanics of this non-Euro game are so unbalanced, it becomes extremely exploitable by hoarders with resources." And honestly, I actually can't tell if that's a critique of the game itself or of JetBlue's marketing campaign for it. Fortunately, there is hope for Get Packing's Board Game Geek page because JetBlue has announced that they will be releasing several hundred more copies of the game on Monday, December 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So, if you're watching this video on the day it comes out, first of all, congratulations to you. But also note that it's today, and that means that you still have a chance to get a copy of this game, play it, rank it, take some pictures and write a review, shoot a short video, and help bring its Board Game Geek page up to the bare minimum of competency and completion. Oh, and you'll also be able to take a round-trip flight anywhere you want for free. But don't let that distract you from what's really, really important here. The Get Packing Board Game Geek page desperately needs your help. So, let's stop slacking and get cracking, ransacking, Get Packing to start tackling hacking its nerve-wrackingly lacking BGG page.
Hi, I'm Gary Pope from Late to the Table, and this is what to check out where we go on the internet checking out Reddit posts, videos, blogs, whatever, and I go ahead and suggest them to you. So, let's go ahead and start. Now, last week I basically laid out a few of my biggest principles in terms of what makes a good Kickstarter video, and then I listed a bunch of videos that fit within those guidelines. But this week I actually have some of my favorite Kickstarter videos of all time. Now, first up on the list is Priceitution. It's a hilarious video. It's actually very, very well produced. It's actually to the point where I'm surprised that they didn't have this have ads on YouTube or anything like that. I feel like it would have made a killing because it really draws you in the first 6 seconds. But it does all of that within 2 minutes, and it's just such a good video. And next is $1 Million But the Game. Now, this is by far the most sarcastic Kickstarter video, definitely, that I've seen in a long time, probably ever. And the funny thing is, as basic of a card game as it is and how generic they're making it seem, people still bought it. The game raised well over $1 million. I mean, I even got the game, so I mean, the advertisement clearly worked, apparently. I'm not proud of everything I buy on Kickstarter. Last but not least is my favorite Kickstarter video of all time. Now, before I announce what game this is, this game actually breaks almost every single rule that I had in the guidelines, yet it's still made it as my favorite video. So that just goes to show you just how good those guidelines really are, I guess. But my favorite Kickstarter video of all time is actually Kingdom Death Monster. It's literally this for like 4 minutes. And even though it literally is that for 4 minutes and it breaks so many rules, it doesn't explain to you how the game is at all. At the last 2 minutes, the guy gives a backstory. The video is like 6 minutes long or something like that, but it nails the entertainment part of it. It really draws you in. It actually makes you really interested in what's going on and what this game is about or what this product is about in general, even if you don't even know it's a game. And that's why I think it's actually the best Kickstarter video, because it does such a good job at drawing you in that you're almost feel inclined to then scroll down and check out the rest of the Kickstarter. So those are my favorite Kickstarter videos of all time. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite Kickstarter videos are, and I'll go ahead and check them out. And in the meantime, also be sure to check out all my social media and also suggest things to me on those things, such as my Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that. And until next time, I'm Gary Pope from Late to the Table, and I hope you're enjoying your breakfast.
So what's coming out from the Dice Tower this week? Well, we're going to be, I think we got a Miami Dice coming. I'm not sure exactly what game it is, but you'll probably see one of those this week. You're also going to see more reviews from me. There's a couple, I'm going to be reviewing The Thing, so keep an eye out for that. And several other games that will be coming. Well, you'll see some more top 10s of the years. You saw our top 10 of all time last year. Or not top 10 of all time, top 10 of 2017 last week, and also I did 21 through 30. But I have more top 10s coming this week. I think Jason Levine will be doing his top 10 this week. So you're going to see different top 10 lists scattered throughout the week. And like I said, we're going to try to do some more live plays of stuff. Last week we did Dragonholt, we did Pulsar 2849. I played some random games with Melody. So expect to see maybe a little bit more of stuff like that as time goes by. Also, Dice Tower Network, of course, consistently putting out all kinds of podcasts and things for you to listen to. Check them out at dicetowernetwork.com.
Two brothers set loose in a thrift store. This is Thrift Store Throwbacks.
Hey, Mikey. Huh? Topple.
No, come on!
Topple. 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 Hey, Mike, what you doing? Yeah, toppling. Suck it! Reverse topple. Okay, so this is Topple. This is a game in which people are going to be basically placing this pieces onto this thing that spins and moves all insane-like, and you're going to be trying to score points by completing rows of 5 or stacking really high. So you're going to roll a die to determine which level basically you're going to place your pieces on. And again, you can, if you complete a row of 5, you can score for how many pieces of yours are on top, or you can also stack super high, but the danger becomes putting too many pieces on one big part that causes a kabloosh to happen and everything falls apart. So it's this game of kind of balance and strategy and also dealing with a little bit of luck in terms of where you're allowed to place. And whoever has the most points before the topple wins. So that was... Whoa. How'd they even do that? Was it magic? Did they actually turn the earth?
So that was Topple. That's like one of those like Gator Golf, Don't Wake Daddy.
Probably like a lot of kids played that at some point or other.
Yeah, you know, but it's not a bad little dexterity game. If you were getting like one of those dexterity games is kind of like a one-off. You know, you pull it out, everybody goes, oh, and it ends, and then you don't play it again for like 3 months. But you know,
but it's good. You know, maybe those types of games pave the way to the flick-em-ups of the world that we all love.
Oh, they probably do.
You know, and know now.
But yeah, it's understanding like balance and stuff like that. So you can really be like, okay, if I put this one here, it's going to actually balance it too far. So you can actually like,
yeah.
I'm not going to say there's strategy necessarily, but yeah.
I guess those are our thoughts on Topple. It's a classic.
Not bad.
I mean, the kids in the picture look like they're having a good time, and I'm sure we all did at some point or other play a game like this. That's going to be it for us, you guys. Check us out on social medias and do participate in our Advent calendar that's going on.
We're still also doing our 25 games in 25 days live streams on Twitch, so check those out.
So until next time, we'll see you at the thrift store.
We'll see you. Whoa!
What's going on with the world?
Okay, so every year I make completely, or mostly completely, unknowledgeable guesses about the coming year and saying, well, this is what I think is going to happen in 2017, 2018, etc. And I'll be doing that in a few weeks. So that this year, Board Game Breakfast actually came out on January 1st, so I made the predictions for this year. Now, the year is not quite over. There's like a week or two left in the year, but close enough that I think we can, except for one of these, we can determine whether these are true or not. So let's look at what I said. First of all, I said that there would be at least 10 new escape style rooms, that there would be an explosion in the genre. There is a lot of them, for sure. I don't know if this is, I want to say this one's yes, but at the same time, I don't know that there's 10 different styles. Like there was 6 unlocks and 6 escapes and more exit games. But I don't know if that counts, right? It doesn't seem like it should, but I'll call this one a tie. We certainly know the genre is popular. I said that Pandemic Legacy 2 would be extremely popular, not as popular as Pandemic 1. That's probably true, but we don't know yet. It came out so recently that the full data isn't here yet. It's currently sitting at number 160 on Board Game Geek. I said 3 to 4 of the top 10 rated games of the year would be Kickstarter games. Pfft. Easily, hands down. Even if I'm not saying my own rankings, although that was true of my own rankings. But if you go to Board Game Geek and sort them out by rank there, Gloomhaven, Seventh Continent, Anachrony, and Clans of Caledonia are the top 4 rated games of 2017, and they are all Kickstarter games. I said there would be a substantial board game merger, but it wouldn't include Asmodee. I think that Plan B buying Eggerspiel counts for that. It may not seem a big deal. People don't necessarily know these companies. Eggerspiel has made some pretty big games from Village and onwards. They're a pretty big company. Plan B is the spin-off. They were F2Z, Z-Man, etc. that was bought by Asmodee. The company spun off and did their own game, Century Golem, and they kept Pretzel Games, and now they bought Eggerspiel, and I expect to see Plan B become even more of a big deal as time goes by. I said that the tabletop series would pretty much do no new content or even record new content in 2017 with Will Wheaton at the helm, and that's true. Now, this was not I'm not like, ooh, I'm glad this happened. No. But I felt that it was going to kind of die out. I don't know if it is. There's no word on whether tabletop will continue or not. And I would not be upset if it did continue. It has done many great things for the hobby, but it feels like it's over. So we'll put this one in the question mark column. But there definitely was content that came out in 2017, but that had been already released last year on the Alpha channel and stuff. So they were just re-releasing it on YouTube. But we'll see. I'm sure something will come up to take its place. Although I was incorrect on the next one, where I said a major TV network, and I was including Amazon and Netflix, etc., was going to make a series about tabletop games or collectible card games or Magic the Gathering, etc., and I haven't seen anything in that regard. My next prediction, I said that there was going to be, I predicted 4 things together in rankings. I said that First Martians from Ignacy Trzewiczek would be in the top 50. It is currently ranked at 1,377. Totally wrong on that one. That game did not do nearly as well as I had predicted. I said Kingdom Death Monster would be in the top 100. It's number 41. I said Pandemic Legacy 2 would be in the top 10. It's currently at 160. Who knows if we'll get to the top 10. And I said Great Western Trail would be in the top 70, and it is number 11. So I got half of that one right. I then got the next one. I was just guessing about the Spiel des Jahres. I said that Spiel des Jahres will be a completely new designer, one we never heard of before. It was Bruno Catala. So, no. And I said the Kenner Spiel would be Terraforming Mars, which almost happened, but the Exit games beat it out. And then I said Star Wars Destiny would be in the top 5 selling games of the first half of the year. Now, I don't have all the data on that, but I do not think that one is actually quite true, considering that they had a lot of supply issues in the first half of the year. And then I said in the third and fourth quarter, second half of the year, Munchkin CCG would be in the top 5, and that hasn't even been released yet. So, no. I then said that there would be a new dominating party game on the scene, like of looking kind of like Codenames. Well, I can't count Codenames Duet. That's pretty popular, and there's been some popular style party games. If you want to consider Magic Maze a party game, When I Dream, Werewords, but none of these games has even come close to the popularity of Codenames. So, wrong. So, what did I get right? I got that one right. So, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. 4.5 out of 10. Maybe 5. Not so good with the predictions this year. But that's okay. Because I still find it fun to guess and to look back at the year and see what's happened. And I'm still going to make predictions next time and see what happens. This has been my worst predicted year ever. 2017. Either way. Why don't you tell me some of your predictions for 2018? List some of those in the comments below. Tell us what you think is going to happen. And try to put some kind of speculation in them. Not like, people will buy a lot of board games. Well, yes, I think that stuff, that's easy to say. But let's see what happens. And let's keep going on with Board Game Breakfast.
Hey guys, I am Eleni or Cardboard Rhino, and welcome to Rhino Says Yes. Today we're gonna have a look inside junk cards. In junk art, you use these colorful wooden pieces to make art and compete against other junk artists about who will get the most fans. Each card corresponds to each of the game pieces, and players have their own individual bases. The exhibitions take place in various cities, and each one has a completely new setup and new goals. It can be about the tallest structure, it can be about speed of completion, last man standing, and much more. For example, in Tokyo, you need to build the tallest structure, but the problem is that each of the pieces you need to add every time are chosen by another player. There is one set of 10 cards for each player, and in your turn, you choose one of them, place it on top of the stack, and pass it on to the next player. That player must find that piece and add it to his structure, and so do you with your own set of cards. A completely different setup comes in the city of Pisa, for example, where all players place pieces on the same structure. You deal one less card than there are players, and from these, in your turn, you choose one and place it on top of the structure, leaving the other 2 cards plus a new one to be chosen by the next player. Your goal is to not be the first who knocks over more than 2 pieces of the structure. Just looking at this game cheers me up personally, and it is very easy to get people excited about playing it, as it's fast to explain. You're gonna be laughing a lot, you're gonna be struggling with your dexterity skills, and you're gonna be challenged to find a way on the spot to avoid the hot potato and pass it on to some other player. The different city setups and winning conditions bring lots of variability to the table, and overall it's a game where fun is guaranteed. So Rhino says yes to junk art. You should give it a try.
Welcome to Tantrum House HQ. I'm Sarah Meadows.
And I'm Melissa Delp. And today on the Throwdown, I have Codenames Disney in the red corner.
And Codenames Marvel in the blue corner. Codenames Marvel plays exactly like Codenames, except it has pictures on one side and words on the other. The red team plays as Hydra agents and the blue team as S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, and the assassin is none other than Thanos. Players will need to dig deep in their knowledge of Marvel Comics to identify all of these superheroes and villains.
Codenames Disney also has pictures on one side and words on the other. It can be played like regular Codenames with a 5x5 grid or with an easier family variant. The family version uses a 4x4 grid and doesn't have a game-ending assassin square. You'll see lots of familiar characters spanning the decades from classic Disney cartoons all the way up to the recent movies like Moana.
Okay, so let's get to the Throwdown. Now, obviously, Marvel is going to win a Throwdown.
Now, just because you have 3 boys who love Marvel Comics doesn't mean everyone feels that way. Disney has 80-some years of cartoons, and they're not all princess movies. I mean, you have Mickey Mouse, you have Toy Story, and even Monsters, Inc.
But we have Thor and Captain America and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and obviously there's some great characters there.
Yeah, and a bunch of obscure characters that only comic book enthusiasts have ever heard of.
But my 7- and 9-year-old boys were able to identify most of the characters, and they just play video games and watch cartoons.
But if you want something that you can play with the whole family, from kids all the way to grandparents, Disney has it all. It has the nostalgic characters and the family grid, so the little ones don't have to worry about hitting that assassin.
So Codenames Marvel is definitely for diehard fans, but even if you don't know all those obscure characters, there's tons of new movies and TV shows coming out to help you out.
Well, if you have young girls, I just have one word: Elsa.
So, who do you think wins this Throwdown? Vote in the comments below, either for Team Marvel
or Team Disney.
Hi, Mike Felicio from Solomode Games, and let's talk escape rooms. As a solitaire gamer, I've been particularly interested in this new trend of escape room type games because all of them at least have the potential to be played solitaire. However, I'm a bit conflicted about this. I'm wondering if you can really get the best experience out of these escape room games playing them by yourself. Now, so far, I've only played one of these games, and that is from the Unlock series, Squeak and Sausage. I think you can kind of see it hiding behind me there in the above the Azul box. And I did not play that one by myself. I played that with my 9-year-old son. And while I enjoyed it, first of all, it made me feel tremendously stupid because I had a very difficult time with it, and I'm pretty sure my 9-year-old solved more of the puzzles than I did. He certainly saw the hidden numbers better than I did, but it got me thinking about this trend in general. This is obviously an extremely growing market in the board gaming trend. These are becoming more and more popular and more ubiquitous, and there's something about these games that I think lend themselves maybe to more of a collaborative experience, a multiplayer experience. Now, I have no problem playing cooperative games, multi-handed solitaire. That's a big part of the solitaire gaming that I do, but for some reason, I can't get over this notion that with escape room games, part of the appeal comes from bouncing these ideas and collectively problem solving together. I don't know why I don't have that opinion with cooperative games in general, but with the escape room games, there's something about it. Perhaps it's the real world escape rooms where you have large groups of people that tend to do those that has this going on in my head, but I kind of wanted to get your opinions. What do you think? Are there any solitaire gamers out there that have played a number of these? And if so, do you feel like you had a good experience? Is there anybody that's played them both, solitaire and multiplayer, that can maybe give a little bit of a comparison? I'd be interested to know, and perhaps other people would be interested to know. If you can let me know in the comments below, I'd really like to hear it. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.
Little tiny plastic bags that are so small they can barely fit any components in them. There's no point to putting components in them. Just Hi
there, welcome to the best and the worst. My name is Niels, you know me, right? And this time I'm talking about QWin2, the card game, and I wanted to show you my favorite part on it.
My favorite part on QWin2, the card game, is simply that it is a little bit more tactical. It's less luck. Dice rolling is pure luck. This has a limited number, 32 cards. So, and when you play one of these cards here and combine them, now you only have, you add them 4 plus 6 plus 1 is 11, and you can only choose the yellow one. If you play it here, for an example, you have a 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 6 is a 10, and you can choose orange or yellow. However, this makes the game a little bit more strategic, a little bit more plannable, and I really enjoy that. That is the good part of that. However, the part I don't like it too much, and that is a little bit smoother and more elegant in the dice rolling game. I know it's weird that I'm saying something with more luck is elegant, is you have more Fehlwürfe, it's called, so errors, so you have to cross out a lot more, because the numbers here, especially with more than 2 players, is getting a little bit crazy and iffy at the end of the game. So you have more, this is an error to cross out, so you make more mistakes in this game, and this game is not as forgiving as the dice rolling game. That was my favorite part of QWin2, the card game.
That was the thing I really like on it, from the best and the worst, and see you next time. This was NSV, German publisher, QWin2, the card game.
Hello, my name's Dan, this is Evan, and this is Cora, and we're here today to talk to you about board games for children of around 5 and under. And today, we're going to be talking about this game. What is it, Cora?
Yum Yum.
Yam Yam. Yam Yam is a push-your-luck card game, which is all about hedgehogs preparing for the winter. Each player has 4 hedgehog cards in front of them. On your turn, you take a card from the draw pile to see if it's got any food you can scavenge. And then you can optionally choose for one of your hedgehogs to hibernate. Now, you can only take a food card if you've got equal to or more hedgehogs awake in front of you as the hedgehogs depicted on the drawn card. So it's in your best interest to have all your hedgehogs awake for as long as possible, so that you're able to gather as much food as you can. However, also in that draw deck are randomly shuffled 4 winter cards. Once all 4 winter cards have been pulled out, then the snows come, and if you've got any hedgehogs left awake, then you're out of the game. Then, the winner is the person who's collected the most food. So Cora, what do you think about Yam Yam?
I like it because you can either push your luck or just go for it.
Yeah, you can just kind of push your luck and see if you can get through before the winter comes.
Yeah, or you could just not push your luck and just do it.
Just play it safe, yeah.
I like the unpredictability of the winter tiles, is in it coming out all 4 of them at the first turn.
Could it?
And it just a funny game, is in just it gives a lot of people lots of laughs.
Yeah, we had a great time playing this, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I didn't win, I don't think, ever. Oh no, I won the first game.
You won the first game, I think. Cora, no one
won last game. The winter came far too quickly.
Yeah.
So we give Yam Yam 2 Spiky Hedgehog thumbs up.
I did it. I finally actually really did it. I played every single game that I own. Played. All those, these ones, played them. These ones, oh, you better know I've played those. Oh, I played the mess out of this one. This one, oh, you better believe I played that. This one, oh yeah, I played that. Have you? This, all of them, all the games, played them. Played them. Whoop. And you know what? It feels pretty darn good. You know what? I never really thought that those shelves of shame were really that shameful. I've got enough things in my life to be ashamed of, so I don't need that kind of baggage. But playing all those games does kind of feel wicked. No good deed goes unpunished. No actor. I also love musicals. Not ashamed of that one. I love them. I just feel kind of happy that the backlog of games that have been there for about 2 years is finally gone, and all the games on my shelf I actually like. At its worst, I think I had about 20 games unplayed, and at its best, 0. So that's now a new best. That's for me, winning. But it's kind of understandable, really, because, I had a huge influx of games when I first got into the hobby, and I was buying a bunch. And now I just kind of don't buy as many. Is that normal? Is that something normal? You'd think this video would be longer, but it isn't.
And that's it for another Board Game Breakfast, folks. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. As always, I hope that you guys are having a great year. And I know that 2017 was not a great year for many people. There's all kinds of amazing things that happen and big news stories, and the news stories horrifically upset some people and some news stories horrifically upset everyone. And there's all kinds of things happening. But overall, at least in the board game world, things have been really, really wonderful, especially in our relationship between us and you guys watching, and we appreciate that. And we want to thank you for watching shows like this one. We hope that they brighten your week up a little bit. And we hope to see you again next week. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.